What's up, YouTube? Alright, there's something I want to talk about in this video. Back in 2010, that's when I met Brittany. So, I want to talk to you about some dates we've been on and some that didn't count. She didn't count the times I spent over at her house because I spent time with her in September twice. The first day we met, and then the second time I was in love for the first time ever, and then we started holding hands. And then we kissed, hugged, and then she also put her head up on my shoulder. When I was holding her hand, she rested her head up on my shoulder at her high school. And then we went out for a date. Or our first real date. Well, I went to her house 2 times in November, 2 times in December, and I saw her twice in September, so 6 times then. So I lost count in 2012 and some other times, but in 2011, the best year of my life, I remember sometimes when I saw her was in January, February, no times in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 18 times. Our first actual date was a high school dance of hers back in 2011 in in January. It was called Winter Ball, I believe, and we went to her high school, and I went to a different high school. So, excuse me. So I did some other stuff with her. Her and I she took me to that dance, and then she was telling her, and then our we had some fun. I went over to her house and ate dinner with her, and then her and I went out to a restaurant, and then one time her and I went out to the prom was much more fun. It was actually on a boat to my favorite restaurant. In a previous videos, I've showed this picture many times, and they custom made it at the mall today. It's when I proposed to her. That's my favorite restaurant. Um, the prom that she had was right behind that restaurant because the restaurant's over here and the boat was right here. And we went on the boat. We went to Sherry's for dinner, and then we went to the dance. Then we went to Denny's. I would have taken her to my favorite restaurant if it wouldn't have cost. But it's kind of pricey sometimes, and dinner can sometimes be pricey there. And Brittany knows I love fancy diners like that one that we went to when I proposed to her. But so we went to Sherry's for dinner, then we went to Denny's, then we went to the dance, then we went to Denny's, and I dropped her off at her home, and then I mean I love my fiance with all my heart. Um, and then in 2011 we went out for a date. Um, our 1 year anniversary date was a little bit different. I took her to my favorite restaurant, and then I went on a shopping spree and spent all the money. My sister told me to return everything, but I'm not that kind of person. So I took her like to go buy everything. I bought her like Jersey Shore and other stuff that she loves, and I took her out to my favorite restaurant. That was the first time I think she had ever been there, and I took her there on the 2 and 3 year anniversary. Excuse me, I've taken her everywhere, but let's talk about that part later. So, and another fun date that year was on her birthday. We went to we went and picked her up at her house, which is about 20 minutes away from here. It's not very far. And then we were driving through the high school I went to, and she said, "High school?" And I said, "Yep, that's the high school over there." Yeah, because we went to separate high schools, rivalry high schools, actually. And then our third date that year, and then the thing we did was we went to the chiropractor office, but it was full. So then we went out to a restaurant where they had a free ice cream for her, but she's lactose intolerant, so she gave it to her. She could have given it to me, but I didn't feel like it. And then we went out to get her nails done, so her toenails were getting done, and then her fingernails were getting done, and she was talking to all the women there, and they were all having a good time talking with her, and she was having fun. But I think that that nail place is gone now. And then we took her to the movies to go see Jack and Jill Went Up the Hill to make a garbage movie. I mean, we didn't think it'd be that. I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't that good. And then her and I went to the. After that, she came here to hang out for a few hours, and then we went out to dinner, and then dropped her off at her house. And that was one of the best dates I've ever remembered. Spending time with her has always been fun, and today was especially fun. I mean, this was the most fun I've had in a long time. And I kid you not, I had a lot of fun today. Well, today was a late birthday hangout for her and I. We were gonna have two friends accompany us. Well, I kept on switching the dates because first it was gonna be the 15th, but then it was gonna be the 8th, but then we pushed it to now because we didn't know how the weather was gonna be. And we were gonna do the 15th, but that was my friend's nephew's birthday, so we were gonna do the 22nd. Was actually a date I hung out with my friends, but I wonder what it would have been like if we would have done it last week and pushed my friends' dates out to this month or today. That's what I was wondering to myself today. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is my Eagle Fang shirt that represents Cobra Kai because I'm obsessed with that show now. Now, speaking to this topic, I was at so we've gone on like 1 year anniversary, 2 years, 3 years, not the 4, 5, and 6 because we were all always busy, and I heard she got banned. But the 1 year anniversary, I took her out, like I said, to my favorite restaurant, and then we went on a shopping spree. I wasn't much of a shopper back in the day. I mean, I do like shopping. The second was just my favorite restaurant and getting hoop earrings or something. And the third was taking her out to my favorite restaurant and going to do something, and then her getting banned 4, 5, and 6. And then on the 7th, I took her out to my favorite pizza place. And then in the 8th, that's when I finally proposed. Got down on one knee, asked her to marry me, and that's in that shirt that I took. I showed, and I've showed it in love videos that I've made for her, and in my third final video I think I made for her. I think in the third video I'm thinking in the 9th anniversary we went back to my favorite restaurant. I think I believe so, or it was a different one that was close to it. Yeah, it was something like that. And then the 10th, we didn't hang out because of the coronavirus. We only hung out a couple times that year. Like in January, and February, we didn't know anything about coronavirus back then because it wasn't as spreaded that bad, but it was bad. And then the third anniversary, the third time we hung out, I dropped off presents for her, but you have to do social distancing back then. And then the fourth and final time that year was in November. Think about it. That's seeing each, and then that was that. And then my girlfriend, my fiance, ended up getting vaccinated. Then I got vaccinated so I could see her. And I told her and my friend was excited and said that's exciting that we were gonna get our vaccine. And then I went out on a date with her that day. And then I took her out on a shopping spree. I forgot what restaurant we went to back in June. And then I took her out to a restaurant a year. I took her out to a different restaurant. Or I forgot what restaurant we went out to. But yeah, we've been to like one that's really good. my favorite restaurant that I've been to has been around for a very long time. And that restaurant has been around for a long time. It says in more than 40 years it's been in business, and the food and the service and atmosphere and the community has been recognized. That's amazing because I've loved that restaurant. We went there, my mom and I went there when I was a kid, and then we went there all the time, and there was a waiter there we really liked back then. He said, "Where do you go? Where you been?" I said, "Sometimes we go to other restaurants." He said, "You go to other restaurants." Well, I live 40 minutes. I live about, let me see. So I live about 20 minutes away from my bride to be. And we live about 39 minutes away from that other restaurant, but they're in opposite. This one's going this way to see my girlfriend in east. This one's going north in a different direction. This is usually 45 to 30 minutes of a drive. And then and then today my fiance and I went on a shopping spree, but she told me to buy I bought a few things for her and something for my mom, but I bought most stuff for me because it was like a birthday shopping spree for me. Excuse me. Um, and some of those 2011 was the best year of my life because I had less anxiety than sometimes I do. Today was one of the most fun days I've had in a long time because I had so much fun. I had so much fun being there with my bride to be, eating good food, going to my favorite restaurant, and buying some stuff for me. You know, I also bought some Amazon stuff with my Amazon cards I got for my birthday last week, so I will be sure to show those when I get them. And that's all I have to say for this video. Alright, peace.